So does former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton want a do-over? Benghazi Select Committee Chair Representative Trey Gowdy joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. So, Mr. Chairman, if she does testify, what do you want to ask her?
Well, Hillary, I have questions in all three tranches, Greta, starting with the designation of our facility in Benghazi, which met no security standards whatsoever. So why was it open? If you look at the ARB recommendations from past tragedies, the Secretary of State is supposed to take a personal interest and personally review the security. So I want to ask her if she did. In that middle tranche, Secretary Clinton ran an ad during the 2008 campaign about a 3 o'clock in the morning phone call. Well, that phone call came. So I think it's fair to ask, Madam Secretary, what did you do during the pendency of those attacks? And then lastly, of course, the talking points. What role, if any? We know she didn't go on the Sunday talk show. Susan Rice did. But we don't know why she didn't go, and we don't know when she realized the video and protest narrative was demonstrably false.
Right. One of the questions I have, not for Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, but on another issue, is that yesterday, watching the proceedings, I learned that you received 15,000 new documents from the State Department. Now, are these germane? And if so, what in the world is taking the State Department so long? They've been asked a lot of things. Are they sitting on them, hiding them?
You know, Greta, that's the million-dollar question. We have been waiting. I have been uncharacteristically patient. That patience has worn thin. Yesterday was a hearing that we never should have had to have. We should ask for something and in a reasonable period of time receive it. In some instances, we are still waiting on documents from a year and a half ago. So you're a lawyer. I was a mediocre lawyer. There is legal process that can accelerate someone's interest in producing documents, and we have moved into a new phase of this investigation. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be respectful, but we need to get about the business, and that started today.
And, of course, there are 25,000 pages that you also received, which were sent to another committee, but they were redacted, meaning that there were parts of it the other committee didn't get that you're now getting, so we'll hear more about that. One of the ranking member, Cummings, yesterday accused you, or at least the Republicans, I don't know if it's you directly, of having secret meetings and excluding them from talking to witnesses. Is that true?
Well, first of all, Greta, there is no requirement that either side, when they have conversations with sources or witnesses, include the other side. On the flight up to Washington, a gentleman who used to be a Marine that guarding our facilities across the globe had a conversation with me. I don't think any of your viewers expect me to parachute out of the airplane and go find Mr. Cummings. You and I just referenced Hillary Clinton. Clearly, Mr. Cummings has been having conversations with her about whether or not to come before the Select Committee. I promise you I wasn't part of any of those conversations. So in a perfect world, we would interview all sources and all witnesses together. I would love to do that. But when somebody comes up to you and says, I will only talk to you, I will not give my name, I don't want to be a witness, but I do want you to know what I have to hear, my choice is to either say, well, I'm not interested in what you have, or my choice is to violate their confidentiality and their security. And you as a journalist protect people's confidentiality. So as a prosecutor, I protected confidential sources. What you have to decide is whether or not you're ever going to use that source. What I would not do is use information given to me that had not been cross-examined. But I'm not going to stop someone from talking to me simply because Mr. Cummings isn't around.
Is the administration stonewalling or 100% cooperative, transparent?
Well, you know, I want to be fair. The Department of Justice, I've actually been encouraged with some of my recent conversations. The Department of State this afternoon was much more cooperative than they were, say, a week ago with respect to some of our requests. I want this to be a professional investigation, notwithstanding what the Democrats did yesterday, because I want your viewers to have confidence in it. But, Greta, it's been a long time, and these requests have been outstanding, and we need to talk to the witnesses, and we need to wrap this up. I don't want it to go into 2016 politics. I will take Secretary Clinton within 30 days of the State Department producing to me the documents, including her emails. But you know I cannot question her. I cannot question her with any constructiveness if I don't have the documents, the cables, and the emails in front of me.
Here's what I want to know. Okay, I understand Susan Rice going on the talk shows about 6 days later after the September 11th, 2012 event and saying the video. What I don't understand is after all of that, you've still got the president like a week or 2 or 3 weeks later going on The View, talking to a Spanish network, and even I think he went on David Letterman and then the UN General Assembly. I mean, he still carried that video narrative long beyond everybody else is looking at it. Why? I mean, I've never been able to figure that one out.
Well, those would be questions to the president himself. That would be separate from the Secretary of State. But your point is well taken. When did the Secretary of State realize that the video narrative was false? Because even though the talking points were wrong, because they cited a protest, even the talking points didn't reference a video. That was a creation by Susan Rice. So who told Susan Rice to mention a video? So the talking points were wrong.
And why did it last so
long? The administration.
I mean, it lasted so long. I mean, it's like everyone's like, you know, what's that all about? I mean, it lasted long beyond anybody thought. But anyway, I hope you get to the bottom of this. I got to go. But, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and I hope you come back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.